Hello, this is Ernest from theartofbeinghuman.com with some input on how to do the work of Byron Katie. And it's really great to be here. I've been out for a while preparing and publishing my new book, How to Live in the Now. And that's been a lot of fun, and it's really nice to be back here in a more quiet world, sharing some of the subtleties of inquiry with you. Now, one of the concepts that are often associated with the work is the notion of the three kinds of business. There is your business, there is other people's business, and then there is God's business. And as I like to add, God's business is not necessarily a religious thing. It's just all those things that we humans do not have a direct impact on, such as the weather or disasters in the world or things like that. And using this concept or this distinction can be very helpful when we do the work. We will often find that when we leave our own business and go into other people's business or into God's business, it is stressful and frustrating and painful and make us feel dependent. So it's a very strong concept to use and to make part of your inquiry. And so people will really pick that up and really enjoy using that as a tool in their world. But it sometimes also leads to some confusion. Because what does it actually mean to not be in somebody else's business? I mean, we quickly get that it's supportive to be in our own business, but that's when the confusion then comes up. And one of the classic examples would be someone saying, but I'm a parent and I have a 5-year-old son. And don't I have to be in his business sometimes? Because isn't that part of what parenting is? He's so young, he doesn't have the competency or the experience to live his life without support. So what if he's running out in front of a truck, for instance? Isn't it then my job to stop him from doing that? And yes, of course it is. But that brings us to getting a more detailed understanding of what does it actually mean to be in somebody else's business. So let me use an example. What I find when I'm in other people's business is it's always because I'm trying to solve a problem that I have in a way that doesn't put me in an uncomfortable place. And it seems like the easiest way would be if they just change. If I could just get them to change without having to do anything myself, then this problem would be solved in a really nice way. Take as an example, if somebody's lying to me, for instance, somebody's lying to me, and for me, it would be so easy, it would solve my problem if they would just stop lying. So therefore the thought comes, they shouldn't lie, right? They shouldn't lie to me. Now that's going into their business. They shouldn't lie to me is like trying to change their behavior through some sort of weird psychic power and get them to stop lying. And why am I doing that? I'm doing that to avoid having to solve this problem from my business, because that would involve having some sort of a confrontation with them, having a conversation that wouldn't necessarily feel very pleasant for me. That could look like, meeting up with them and saying, I've noticed that sometimes when you're not being truthful to me, you're lying to me. And that I really don't like that. It makes me feel unsafe with you. It makes me distrust you. And that's really uncomfortable. So I would ask you to please stop doing that, right? Now that would be addressing the problem from my side, from my business. But of course, it also puts me in touch with some uncomfortable emotional states. So it seems a lot easier if they would just change. And that's, of course, why I go into their business. Now, shifting back to this example with the parent and the child. Shouldn't I stop him from running out in front of the truck? Yes, of course. And you can easily do that without going into his business. Stopping him from running in front of the truck is my business as the parent. That's my job, right? And I can do that without thinking he should know better. But if I think he shouldn't run out in front of the truck, he should know not to do that, that's when I'm stepping into his business. And that's, of course, what I'll discover if I start investigating it, because I'll see that, of course, he should run out in front of the truck. There's the sweetest dog in the world is passing on the other side of the street. He wants to run over and pet the dog. He's completely unaware of traffic and the dangers of trucks and everything else. So yes, of course, he should run over there. That's the natural thing for him to do. Now, my job in that situation, again, as a parent, is, of course, to stop him. And I don't have to step into his business to do that. I can allow him his business and his love for the dog while stopping him. So stopping him is not going into his business, but thinking he should know better is. I hope that clarifies the concept a little bit, because getting hold of these subtleties or these details can be really supportive. And I would really invite you, next time you're doing the work, as you're in question 3, how do I react? What happens when I believe this thought? To then dive in and really look at whose business am I in when I'm believing this thought? And if I'm in somebody else's business, how does that feel? What's it like to be over there? And really notice what it feels like to be in other people's business. And then also notice, what are you trying to avoid, or what are you trying to achieve by being over there? What are you moving away from or towards as you step into somebody else's business, with the consequence of all those emotions that follow? I hope that's helpful. I hope that supports you. If you have any questions about this or anything else regarding the work, please feel free to send me an email at ernest@theartofbeinghuman.com, or visit me at my website, www.theartofbeinghuman.com. Thank you.